Hi, I'm Chiara Ocampo and welcome to the Orange Chair. This is where I sit down with the country's top thought leaders and influencers. They'll be sitting on this orange chair where I will be unpacking their stories that will hopefully inspire you, influence you, and inform you. Opening the first episode of The Orange Chair is none other than the President and CEO of UBX, Mr. Januszczak. Hi, JJ, welcome.
Hi, Chiara, how are you?
All right, please
Okay.
All right, again, welcome, JJ, to The Orange Chair. First of all, how are you?
I'm great.
How was your day so far?
It's been a very exciting last few months. Yeah, it's been a great time at UBX. We're growing, we're profitable, providing opportunity and access to more and more Filipinos every day.
I agree. You're our boss here in UBX. You're my boss. But were you always a leader growing up?
I don't necessarily think so. I think I had a kind of a fairly normal childhood, and but I think leadership is a journey. I think it's something that you develop into. I think part of leadership, and leadership doesn't necessarily mean your rank at the office. You could be the leader of a family. You could be the leader of a sports team or some kind of community. But in all cases, I think one thing that's really required is balance.
Oh, that's
right.
correct.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard the story that you always say family first
Yeah.
to your direct reports. So for someone, I think with our culture today also, people always talk about work-life balance. And it's very rare actually to see a leader. Usually it's all work, work, work. So why is it very important to you to focus on family?
Yeah. You mentioned focus. You said, I don't know if this is true or not, but you said I had focus, so I'll take the compliment. But I think what allows you to have that focus in the moment is because you take the time to recharge, and you take the time, away from that activity, so that when you're there, you can actually really be in the moment and focused on it. So I think that's number one. Number two is, listen, I love my job. I hope everyone at UBX loves their job too. I think we're making a difference. But I think we also have to remember that we work to live. We don't live to work, right? So I think, and we got to keep that in mind. And hopefully what we're doing is allowing our customers to also feel the same way.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about family and life.
Okay.
And also yourself outside of the office.
Okay.
So my first question is...
I'm always at the office, Chiara. A lot of people...
No, you said family first.
A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
But do you enjoy the free lunch every day?
I do, but
Yeah.
I hope there's more.
So what you probably don't know is I get up at 3 a.m. every morning to cook lunch.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I made that up. I don't do that. I don't do that.
Speaking of food, I heard you loved cooking.
Yeah, no, I do. So I don't cook lunch here, but I do. Yeah, I do enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, we were all kind of searching for distractions, I guess, right? Which is a good thing because it was a weird, kind of time for all of us. But one of the things that gave us a lot of, provided a lot of fun and entertainment at our house was we would try to cook, fancy meals and stuff that we did, that we didn't even think we could, we might not. Well, I don't know. My wife could do it. I couldn't do it, right? So anyway, I learned. I learned to cook a lot of stuff, right? Yeah, and the benefit is you get to eat it.
Well, yes, we have hobbies now. So what do you do for fun?
I love sports. I'm a big, like most people in the Philippines, I'm a huge hockey fan.
Mm-hmm. We don't even have ice here.
No, there's ice here. There is, and people play hockey here. There's a couple of rinks in the Philippines. Yeah. Well, I played hockey almost my entire life. I played as a kid. I wasn't the best player or anything like that, but I played for fun. And I played all the way up until I was, an adult. And basically, I played almost right up to before I moved to the Philippines. I mean, of late, my happiest hockey memory is my youngest son has spent more. Actually, both of my kids have spent more of their life in the Philippines than in Canada. They were born in Canada, but they've spent more time here in the Philippines. About a year ago, we were in Toronto. And Toronto's a big hockey market. It's really hard to get tickets to a hockey game, a professional hockey game in Toronto. But my wife had managed to get us some really good seats. I think it was my birthday present, actually, to go see the Toronto Maple Leafs play in Toronto, and to take this was the first time my youngest son had an opportunity to actually see a game live instead of watching it on TV from Manila. And he was, to see him so enthralled and excited, to be at this game was huge. Yeah.
So, just circling back to UBX, can you tell us the story when you first heard about the idea of UBX?
So when the opportunity was afforded to me to join with the Union Bank family, I jumped at it. And when I arrived here, that's exactly what we worked on. What happens after you've digitally transformed yourself? And for Union Bank, it was exploring new business models, exploring growth engines of the future, which might have nothing to do directly with banking. And that's where the idea of UBX, that's where it was born. Yeah. What do we do after digitally transforming a bank? And the answer was, we need to become a technology company. Yeah. Right? And so, the bank is a bank, right? So we had to do that outside of the bank. We had to start a whole new company. And that was UBX.
We've always prided ourselves as a company that provides opportunity and access for all. Can you tell us a story when this was apparent?
Can you imagine? We've processed over 20 billion pesos worth of loan applications. And for people to get access to credit through our platform, and we don't lend the money. These are our existing lenders and banks that provide the funding. But through our platform, we are allowing these lenders and these very traditional banks to actually extend credit to small businesses who might not even have a bank account. Yeah. I mean, this would have been unheard of 10 years ago, right? And the fact that we can do that, and of course, that allows these. We talk about access and opportunity. Yeah. These businesses wouldn't have had access to that credit, and now they do. Yeah. And when you have access to working credit or working capital, that allows you to invest in your business, to get more business, to pay yourself more, to improve the quality of your life. And so it's a very positive flywheel effect. And I know we have a lot of stories like that, on the lending side, where we're facilitating lending to people and businesses who in the past did not have access. And if they didn't have access, they didn't get the opportunity that they now have. Yeah.
So to cap off our conversation about the personal question, who do you look up to for inspiration?
Two people that I look up to and I get inspiration from to this day are actually my parents. And I think, maybe not everyone would say that, but I think a lot of people would. For me, it's because of the values that they instilled in me. So a lot of what we've talked about, be yourself, do the hard work regardless of the outcome, honesty, integrity, and what's the word I'm looking for here? Stewardship of what's been entrusted to you, right? So, when I grew up, we always knew the value of a dollar. I guess if I grew up in the Philippines, I'd say we always knew the value of a peso, but we always knew the value of a dollar. And, we took care, with what was entrusted to us, right? And I think that plays very well in my current role. Our shareholders have entrusted us with capital to hopefully grow a business. But either way, we have to take care of what's been entrusted to us. And I think that value has served us. It's served me very well. And, so there you go. So I continue to get inspiration or to draw inspiration from my own parents. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Now we move on to Rapid 7, where we ask our guests 7 rapid-fire questions under just 1 minute. All right, John, are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
Right, just under 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I wake up early.
Your top 3 most used apps on your phone?
So email for work, Spotify for music, and of course, the best online banking experience in the Philippines, the Union Bank app.
I agree. If you had 1 day left to live, what would be your last meal?
I don't know, burger and fries.
Classic. A word to describe fintech in the Philippines?
Just starting.
Your best sources for the latest news on business and tech?
Believe it or not, I like Twitter.
If you were to choose one, Canada or the Philippines?
For this interview, it will be the Philippines.
Always ask us this question. Lastly, what for you is true inclusion?
It means everybody. So financial, technological, and cultural.
With that, thank you, John, for being at the Orange Chair. I had so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
With John, we learned that no matter how busy life gets, family is everything. Join us on the next episode of The Orange Chair.